What's up, everybody? Glad to see you can make it back to my YouTube channel. Yeah, I'm just trying to get some projects knocked out. It's kind of hard with my work schedule right now. Seems to always be the case. Today we have another little project on the B20 Civic. I haven't really talked about this one much, but there is a couple of videos that I did put out on it, and I will do a full review on it at a later date. But today we're going to be upgrading the front brakes. These are the OE EX/SI size brakes. This car is a DX, by the way, so it had like the 9.2 or somewhere around there, and these are the 10.2 or 10.3. Have seen better days for sure. They're warped and they shake real bad whenever I hit the brakes, especially at high speeds. It's not real fun. Makes me really not want to drive the car. I haven't driven it in a couple of months, but I do charge the battery every now and then. But as far as the back goes, I did get new calipers for it, and I think this caliper right here sticks a little bit. It's a little bit on the dark side, but this caliper does stick. So I'm not too worried about the rear right now. I will focus on that later on. But like I said, I will be upgrading the fronts only, and I will be upgrading to a Wilwoods kit. Bought this probably at the end of last year. I just haven't had time to put them on, but the time has come. But yeah, here are the instructions. It looks a little involved, and the kit comes with brake lines and washers and shims and all that stuff. I just haven't really messed with it too much. I did attempt to put these on one time and then found out that my spindles that I have on here, which are the EX spindles, they are the incorrect ones to work with this kit. So I did since then purchase some new ones, and I also got some extended ARP wheel studs and new lower ball joints, Buddy Club ball joints. I do have Buddy Club on here now, but I just didn't want to mess with them, taking these out and putting the new ones in, or trying to reuse them, I mean. So yeah, we'll go ahead and pull this wheel off. Like I said, I've done it before, so everything's kind of sort of loose, not too torqued. I haven't really driven it. Well, I haven't driven it at all. But anyway, it's enough rambling, so let's go ahead and get the car jacked up on this side, and we'll start tearing into the wheel. Alright, so we got the wheel taken off and it's out of the way now. I did forget to loosen up this axle nut, but that's okay because I'm just going to use this bar, put it in here, and sort of wedge it. That way I can break it loose like that. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and remove the caliper, this brake line, pretty much everything holding on to the spindle. Then I have the new one. I'm just going to put it right back to its place. And then we'll go ahead and start working on the putting the kit together for the caliper and the rotor, and that's pretty much it. Hopefully it fits the wheel. I haven't even really looked at it, but I think it should clear those buddy clubs, so we'll find out. here, the spindles, they're side by side. These are both the passenger side spindles, and of course the EX/SI is considerably heavier than the DX, LX, CX model. There's not much iron on the spindle itself. If I flip it around, yeah, see how much smaller that is? There you go. You see how much smaller this is right here? So all this is just not nearly as heavy. So I did go ahead and put in a new wheel bearing, a new hub, new ARP lug nut studs, new ball joint, and as per the instructions, I did trim off a little bit on the edge of the bracket for the new caliper. I guess maybe with heat or something it expands and it touches it, maybe, I don't know. I didn't research it, I just did what they told me to do. So this is grinded off already, filed smooth, ready to go. But anyway, let's go ahead and put this one on, connect all the 3 points of the suspension, and then we'll go ahead and continue on with the bracket and washers and whatnot. We'll figure it out. I'm actually gonna wait to do the tie rod. I'm not gonna do that one just yet. This will give me a pretty easy rotation from the spindle in case I have to like turn it around, get behind it, line anything up. So I will be putting this on last. It'll just help out a little bit. But we'll go ahead and screw on this axle nut. Not like we need it right now anyway, but you know, might as well. But yeah, we're just about ready. I'm gonna go ahead and torque up the top and bottom of the ball joints, get those done, and then we'll go ahead and throw on the rotor and start working on the bracket assembly. Alright, so I got this kit sort of mocked up. I just have to tighten everything, like these bolts back here, and that's mainly it, just these 4 bolts. But yeah, everything fit a lot better, fit like it should, not like last time. But I will go ahead and tighten up these bolts, and then I still have to do the brake line, which I'll disconnect it, and here's the new line right here. And yeah, once I'm done with that, I'll jump over to the other side, then we'll start the bleeding process, and hopefully that's it. Hopefully I'm not missing anything. It looks like it's all here right now. But yeah, anyway, this is what it looks like so far. It looks pretty nice. Don't have much of a lip for the wheel. What do you call that? Hub centric ring. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to use that or not. But if not, then I guess that's all right. This is even the wrong size now. But that's all right. We'll just torque the wheel carefully, make sure it's centered. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and continue on. I'm gonna put this brake line on and jump over to the other side. Alright, got the brake line on. Still have to like tie it back a little somehow, but it does go to the full travel without hitting anything or getting caught with anything. So I think we're good there. Now we'll just go ahead and button up here, put the tie rod on, and I'm gonna have to bleed the brakes later on anyway, so I'm not gonna worry about bleeding them right now. But yeah, so far so good. I'm not gonna complete it just yet, but I'm gonna see if the wheel's gonna fit. Oh, we got plenty of room. So we'll go ahead and screw these on. Take a little bit longer now. Maybe a little bit over an inch of clearance between the caliper and the wheel. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm gonna go ahead, button this side up, and then jump over to the other side. Alright you guys, there it is. The new rotor is installed. That is too loud. It's about an inch bigger, maybe a hair under an inch bigger, but it pretty much fills up the wheel on the inside pretty good. I really do like it. I still have to torque up the lug nuts just a little bit, just in case I have to move it. I don't want to break any wheel bearings. I've done that before. But let's compare it to the other side. So you get that, and there's the old one. It is hard to see, but if you compare it, it's a lot bigger. But the story with this one, I am missing 2 bolts that hold on the caliper bracket to the caliper, and I have no idea where they went. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to put that one on tonight. I will have to look for that bolt, those bolts. I don't even know if I got them, but I'm pretty sure I had them at one point. I just don't know where I put them. But anyway, to be continued on this, and we will go for a test drive whenever I get those bolts. Alright, so I guess some of you guys are wanting an update on the S2000, so let me give you the scoop on this. Alright, first of all, K-Tune did send the throttle body. It came in, like, I guess early this week, or actually early last week. I put it on. Well, I was actually putting it together, and I was missing a piece off of the TPS sensor. For some reason, my old one had a piece, and I'll put a picture on here so you can see which piece I'm talking about. That piece right there was missing off of my throttle body. So I contacted K-Tune again, and I guess they realized that there was an issue there. So a week later, that part came in, and I put it on the throttle body, bolted up the TPS, and put it back on the car, and calibrated the TPS sensor, and then I went for a start, and immediately I noticed a difference in idle speed. It was a lot more stable, and I was able to mess with the settings that are on the Haltech for that IAC valve, and I did get the idle to come down to a pretty good level. I was happy with it. It does what it's supposed to. It warms up and it slows down just like it should, so everything's good there. However, the exhaust manifold was still getting red hot, and I just spent about a day thinking about it, and well, I mean, I just had to go back to the basics, and what I had to do was, and let me show you, I think I still have that part laying around here. So I had to go back to the basics, and of course, you know, basics being timing, air, and fuel. And fuel was there for sure. With 1000cc injectors, no doubt about it. Air, obviously there's air. So I mean, the last thing that there is timing, right? And so I have an inductive timing light, and I tried putting it on these wires right here, right there, but you know, I was kind of doubting that was going to work. A little bit too easy. But of course it didn't work. It wasn't picking up the signal. So what I had to do was get an old B series spark plug cable. And there probably is another way of doing it, but this way was easy for me at the time. So I got the old B series spark plug, and I put this in on the coil, of course, right here, and this end right there, put that in the spark plug, on the spark plug. So, you know, that's pretty much old school right there. So that of course did work. I was picking up a signal at that point. So I referenced the mark on the harmonic balancer, and it was firing at 0 degrees. And I was like, well, and so I was like, okay, so let me see what it is on Haltech. So I went back to the Haltech on my computer, and the computer was thinking it was firing at 16.5 to 17.5, around there. And it was right there at that moment. I knew that's what my problem was. But the strange thing is, we had calibrated that before, and I'm not sure what happened. Somewhere along the way, that thing just defaulted back to the OEM 5 degrees. So what I did was change the offset on the Haltech to match the actual reading on the engine, which was 16, more or less 16, so it's pretty close. And immediately I noticed a difference, and my map went from 15, 16 straight down to like 22 inches of mercury. And of course the exhaust manifold, it did not get hot again, and it idled even smoother at that point. So today I was able to take the car out to get some gas. I was pretty low. I had my gas light on and no bars on the fuel meter. So drove it around, and it is wanting more fuel already. I did add a little bit just to get there safely. I didn't want to burn anything up, not like I was getting on or anything, but it is a lot more peppier. It feels like it wants to go now. So that is good. S2000 is ready to go again. I think it's going to make its comeback. So yeah, it was like 16 degrees retarded from what it normally is supposed to have been. So you could just imagine whenever you're trying to back off on power, or limit power to the wheels, or any kind of a knock reduction in the engine, you back off power, and you back off power by retarding the ignition. S2000 is pretty good to go now. But yeah, that's an update on that. I went ahead and wrapped all this up again just like it was, and that's that. Everything looks good here now. So at some point or another, I'm gonna have to take this car back to San Antonio and get it tuned, and hopefully at that point we should be good to go for the dyno and make some pretty good power that should have been there the first time. Actually, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and start it up for you guys and do a quick walk around on it. That way you guys can check it out, see how it idles now. There's a big difference from what it was last time. So let me go ahead and start it up. Yep, there it is, idling on its own. Still warming up a little bit, but everything looks pretty good. Sounds good, sounds normal. Yep, there it is, guys. So stay tuned for the next one, because we're going back to the dyno. Thanks for watching this episode, and make sure you check out the other videos on the Civic. Like I said, I will be posting some more videos on it and this one, and just all the cars that I have to mess around with. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned, and see you next time.